Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Data Foundations Nanodegree program. Hope you've all enjoyed the first week. We thought that now that you've kind of gotten used to the classroom and started working, that we'd take a step back and so you can meet the team. And this is going to be a pretty informal meeting where we're going to introduce ourselves, answer a few of the common questions that we've heard, and go through a few things so you just feel more comfortable with the program and have an opportunity to ask questions. If you do have questions, post them either in the Slack general channel or you can post them in the chat box in the YouTube Live. First, go around the room to introduce ourselves. So there's 4 of us on the call. And I'll start. I'm Sam Nelson. I'm the product lead on the program. So I kind of help manage the thing. And prior to working at Udacity, I was a data analyst and then a product manager, and now I get to do a little bit of both. And just really passionate about people learning data and about data literacy in general. And so I've been really excited about working at Udacity. So I'm going to pass it over to Josh.
Hi, everybody. I've had a chance to interact with a lot of you already. As you might have realized, I helped develop the content in the classroom. I'm formally trained in statistics and mathematics, but I like to code and write SQL and do a lot of the things that you're already sort of picking up in the classroom. I look forward to sort of like working along with you as you continue on the journey.
Hi, I'm Eric Elliott. I'm the community manager for the Data Foundations program. My job in a nutshell is to make sure that you all get the most out of the community. And when I say community, I mean it in a broad sense of all of us as a group and our specific tools like Slack. And I will try to be the eyes and ears and listen to the feedback you guys have. And if you have questions, hopefully I'll be a familiar face. You can ask me, and if I don't know, I will find an answer or tell you the right place. And my background naturally is in community, which I've done in a lot of different places. Looking forward to meeting more of you.
Hey, I'm Matt. Before Udacity, I worked as an analyst for a real estate investment company and then was a product manager for a staffing company. I'm here to help make sure that you guys have an easy time with the course. So I help manage all of the mentors and reviewers who you'll be interacting with throughout the course. And so if you ever have any issues, please reach out to me directly and I will help and make your experience better.
Great. This is a great team, and there's just 4 of us here, but there's a lot, many more people behind the scenes that are working to make sure that your experience is great, that the content is great, and then also that you have other programs to go to after completing this one. And anyway, we're really excited to have you in the program. Also, I do want to say that those other people on the team that aren't here on the call, not all of us are white males with facial hair. There were a more diverse team than that, but that just happens to be the crew that's on today. So I'm going to pass it over to Josh, who's going to walk through the program a little bit more and address some of the common questions that we've been hearing. And then remember to, if you do have questions, write them down in the Slack channel or in the chat box, and then we'll have a few minutes to answer those in a minute.
So I'm actually going to cue Jessica. She's helping us sort of do some screen share stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is just walk through the program, like what you're going to be learning, what a lot of you are already working through. So it looks like she has hers up. Let me make sure I'm okay. Cool. So if you look on the left-hand margin of the classroom, you'll notice that there's basically a few components there, like the welcome to the program, which a lot of you have already completed the first project. And then the next part is introduction to data. I teach the statistics portion in there, and then Dana has actually done the spreadsheets portion in Excel. But you can use any spreadsheets-based application. So she does all of hers specifically in Microsoft Excel, but I actually went through all of her content in Google Sheets. And then at the end of that, you analyze some data pertaining to actually previous or current students in the school of AI, as well as like CAR and a couple of other advanced programs that follow this one. And then in the next part, you'll be learning about SQL. And SQL is just a common language for interacting with databases. So you'll learn about databases and how SQL works and how to pull in data from multiple sources. And at the end of that, you'll go into the data viz portion where you'll learn about data visualization best practices, and you'll learn how to use Tableau to build your own dashboards. And so that's a really exciting part of the class as well. And then at the very end, you'll complete your own dashboard and hopefully be either ready to take on your own problems or potentially go into a more advanced program, maybe one that uses programming language like Python, or if you choose like a business path, you might learn something like Alteryx. But both of those are aimed at like predictive modeling and more advanced statistical techniques and how to put those into practice. So with that, I'll actually, the last thing I'm supposed to talk about are projects and how the project deadlines work. So you might have noticed with the first project, you submit your project and essentially you'll get either a meet specifications or needs revision. And you have a deadline set for that. And following that, you should receive some feedback and you'll know whether or not you need to resubmit your project. Upon that submission, if you have to resubmit, you have essentially 4 weeks to get in a resubmit that actually meets specifications. And that same deadline structure will happen with all 4 of your projects. If there are additional questions on that, we can hold off and take those at the end. Cool, thanks. So Sam's going to talk next about how the classroom is structured.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Just sticking with the classroom, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how to find different things within the classroom. Most of you will probably have figured this out as you've gone through it. So here's the curriculum. You see in the top right that we have 4 projects among 5 different parts. The 5th part is the one that doesn't have a project, and a few of them are locked, and I do want to hit on why. So part of it is we're putting the final touches on the content. So the SQL for data analysis, and if you click on each part, you can see when that part will be unlocked, and so when to expect more content coming. So we're launching each part in 2-week increments, and yeah, we're putting the finishing touches on that content, making sure that it's a great experience for you. So that's why it's locked and when it's going to be unlocked. And then if you go into welcome to the program section, you can see, I can't see actually, it's a little bit of a delay. So you can see here the each of the lessons within that particular part. So in this case, there are 3 lessons, 2 lessons, and then the lesson that prepares you for the project. Now, I do want to point out here, up at the top right, and then also underneath each lesson, it gives you a % viewed. Now, that % viewed, it does not have to be 100%. We don't care if you watch all the videos. Most people will to prepare for the projects, but we really care about completing the projects. So that's an important thing. From here, you click in to into a lesson, and just like I'm sure you have, you can go through each of the videos, and down here in the bottom left, you can click onto your mentor. And you can have a conversation right here in the classroom with your mentor. Your mentor really is there to help you, stay accountable and check in about projects and ask if you have any questions. If you do have more technical, if you need more technical help, then you can go to the either Slack or to the knowledge base that Matt has put together, and he'll talk through that in a minute. And then to find the resources, you go here on the resources link. You'll have here this forum links take you to Slack, the office hours, and some other downloads and things like that you can find here in the resources. It'll depend on what part of the nanodegree you're in. And then also sometimes we'll have the data down at the bottom of a screen. So if you have a quiz or something that references a data download, make sure you check there if you're having trouble finding it. So that's a quick run through of the and yeah, again, if you have any questions, actually we'll take a quick second to see if there are any questions. We'll have a little bit longer time at the end where we'll address some that we've heard. So, do we have any questions? Talking to our team here.
Did want to say thank you to, I think it's Bessie, I think it's the, how you pronounce the name. She said that Josh is an awesome teacher, liked your illustrative method of teaching descriptive stats. So thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
We can go ahead and I'll talk a little bit more about classroom mentorship, project reviews, and the knowledge base. So for mentorship, if you do run into any issues or it's been a little while or longer than you would expect for the mentor to respond, please reach out to us directly so we can follow up with the mentor and make sure you get put in contact with them. Or a mentor who will be more attentive to your needs. So you can do that either by direct messaging me on Slack. My name on there is @MattDavid, or it's just the @ MattDavid. You can, that'll get to me. Or you can email us at datafoundations-support@udacity.com. And also, if you run into any issues with your project review, the same channels to get in touch with us apply. So if you think that you've got an unfair feedback or you weren't satisfied with the quality, please let us know. It's our job to make sure you have a great learning experience. So we can only do that if you guys let us know when it's when you're not happy with it. So please reach out. And then if you could go to the knowledge base real quick. So we put together this knowledge base, which is basically a FAQ where you can type in any question or start typing in the topic that you're trying to look up. So if we start typing in Slack, we can see the article pops up here at the bottom. So if we click that first article, we can see, so if you didn't end up getting the invite to Slack, you can access it here. You can see that we have some common issues spelled out, which mostly has to do with if you're trying to access Slack on a company network. Sometimes the firewall settings will prevent that. And then I'll leave the rest for Eric to talk through the specific, how we'd like students to interact with on Slack. So that's to Eric.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. So yeah, Slack is kind of, other than the classroom, it's sort of the central hub of our community, and it's obviously a place that you can ask questions and get answers from some of the experts sitting around this table, but also from other students. I think a lot of the time, asking a question or connecting with someone who's working on the same level that you are and sorting through the same problems can be even better than getting help from an instructor. But it's great to have both options available. Hopefully you've joined us on Slack, but if you haven't, go back to the email you got when welcoming you to the class when you first signed up, or to the Nanodegree program, and you'll find an invite to go there and join the community. If you're having a problem accessing Slack, it may be a company firewall issue, so try doing it from home or on your phone. And if you get into Slack, you'll see that we have a number of different channels, and there's a general channel that you can use for any type of discussion There are questions about the Nanodegree program. There are announcements. You can find a little bit of everything there. There's also a feedback channel. If you have any feedback about the course or about the community or ideas, don't hesitate to go there and let us know. That's what I'll be watching for. I think everyone here watches that. We also have different channels that probably get the most use for each project. Right now, everyone's finishing up in the interpret data visualization, and that's the best place probably to ask a question, a specific question about a specific project. You can also direct message other students on Slack, and like I said, that can be one of the best uses. Always, of course, be respectful. It's an online community, like any online community. We have a code of conduct, but it's really just common sense. Don't insult people, and be a good online citizen. Lastly, I'll just say that don't think of Slack as a place just to ask questions and get answers. It's an opportunity to connect, to make friends, find camaraderie, and participate in the shared mission that everyone, students and staff and instructors here at Udacity Okay, I think we're back. A little bit of technical trouble there with our audio. But the only other thing I was going to say is I'm looking for ideas for how we can make this a stronger community. I'm thinking about different things. If this live stream is something that you have found helpful, let us know. We'll do some more maybe. I'm thinking about putting together a newsletter that we send out on a regular basis, or any other ideas you have about how we can have a stronger community. And that is pretty much my piece. And I think at this point, I'm going to pass it back to Sam for a little more extended Q&A.
Great. Yeah, one thing I do want to acknowledge, there's a thunderstorm going on here. So you may have heard some thunder in the background. As you probably know, the weather in the United States and the world right now is a little crazy, but apparently we are experiencing a little of that too. I do want to open up for questions. I'm going to start with one of those that just going in a little more detail about what Josh talked about with deadline policy. One question that's come up is, if you submit it, do you need it? Does it have to be reviewed by that initial deadline? And the answer is no. So again, just to reiterate, you submit. Hopefully you submit by the first deadline. Hopefully you submit by the first deadline. You have another 7 days to get it submitted, but after that you have a few weeks, so 4 weeks from the initial due date to get the projects reviewed and passed. So that's plenty of time to make that happen. And so want to actually see if there's any questions that have come through online.
Yeah. So there was a question. About basically. Okay. So one thing that we can talk about is the different media that exists in the classroom. So there are essentially, there's a few different media. In the first part of the class, you'll notice basically there's video, there's text, and then there's different types of quizzes that exist. When you move to the SQL portion, we'll actually have like a little environment for you to write SQL code in the classroom. And so one of the questions that was asked was basically like, if I skip over the text, underneath a video. Is that bad? Am I missing things? So each content developer, so I'm one of the content developers, and then Dana, who you've seen in the videos, is another content developer. Each content developer kind of has their own style in terms of how they use the different media that we have available to us. So how someone uses video might be different than another CD, or how someone uses text might be different from another CD. The way that I think a lot of the text exists in the classrooms under the video right now is to reiterate the main ideas that exist within the video. So if you are going through a video and you feel like you really grasp the concept, or if you're going through the video and you're taking notes as you go through the video, you might just check your notes against the text that's on the bottom. Or if you feel like you get the idea that's in the video, then that text at the bottom might not be necessarily useful to you, because it's just reiterating ideas that you already are comfortable with. Alternatively, text that's on its own portion of the classroom and not necessarily directly related to a video usually holds ideas that are not directly related to something that was in a video. A lot of times that text might talk about something that was in a video, but then add to it or give you additional resources that you could find yourself. So everyone sort of learns in different ways, and so we try to support that with the different media that are available. My suggestion is, like, if you feel really comfortable going through the quizzes, those are probably a really good assessment of how well you're grasping the material. And then, as Sam pointed out, the real way to pass any ND, and this goes across all of our programs, but the main way to pass a nanodegree program is just to complete the projects. So all of the content that's available in the classroom is simply aimed to help you be successful in a project. So if you feel comfortable with Excel already, then maybe you don't need any of the lessons that are there, and you can just start tackling the project. But a lot of what the content developers do is try to ramp you up to success on those projects. Are there any other questions?
Great. Well, thanks everyone for signing on with us, and for those of you who are going to watch this later, we hope you found this helpful. Again, reach out to any of us via Slack. I'm happy to ask questions, and we're really excited about the next few months working together. So thanks a bunch.